So on the litigation side, we were interested in, well, how did all this come about? And a model is really a mechanism to try to explain the causes to match the data. So we have this data that says that prescriptions went up and misuse went up and overdose deaths went up, and we can build a model to put some causation behind that. Going forward, the question is, well, how's all this abatement stuff going to affect the quote crisis? Is it actually going to reduce the user population or not? And modeling, we could look at, well, what would happen if you could pull 10% a year out of the user population via treatment? What might happen in the marketplace when you do that? Will it reduce prices by 20%? Would that affect the inflow of people on new initiates? So we can use a simulation model to try to estimate the impact of the different programs that people might implement and see if, well, is that going to solve the problem if you're defining the problem as a user population? So if you're defining the problem as overdose deaths, then we'd ask, well, is this program going to help that? But if the problem is the user population and how much drug use there is, then the question, we can use simulation models to estimate whether these programs that are going to be implemented might solve that or not. My personal opinion is that treatment alone won't solve the problem, that harm reduction programs won't solve the problem. Many of the harm reduction programs, they could in fact facilitate the problem because they can make drug use more attractive. And it's, for a lot of people, that seems a little odd. But if I know I can get a drug and bring me out of an overdose, that might make me more prone to take a dosage that might create an overdose. It might be a factor that says, well, I won't quit because I'm not going to die of an overdose. Somebody's going to give me a shot after I go of an overdose. So there are things that make some of these programs might, in fact, make drugs more attractive to people, as funny as that sort of seems. So I'm a little skeptical. Whatever we do, if we're going to reduce the user population through treatment or maybe programs that can slow down the inflow, it's not going to happen in a year. It's going to take decades to bring that user population down to a level we wouldn't notice it much. We probably can't get rid of it. And it's not, people have been using and misusing opioids for, ever since they came out. For thousands of years in some sense. But in the United States, we've had a heroin population user population since the 19-teens. When we made morphine illegal, heroin hit the illegal market. And so there's been an illegal market for heroin ever since then. So one of the things I've done in my career, system dynamics, is model how markets behave. And we were trying to look at how markets are created from a single product and company and grow and mature with lots of competitive companies introducing various variations on products. And essentially how markets go from concepts to a pure, mature marketplace. And drugs are just like any other thing we buy and sell. It's just that they're illegal. But the people that manufacture, distribute, sell drugs are going to act like just the people that manufacture and sell beer or sell ribeye steaks or whatever product, or clothes or shoes, whatever product that you buy and consume, that's what people are doing with drugs. And if you don't think about how those markets work, you could possibly introduce policies that sort of get countered by the feedback process of supply and demand. And that's a big concern of mine. Or when I look at it and I look at, all right, if we can treat everybody and pull them out, that's your heaviest users by far. You're going to have a lot more product on the marketplace. How is that product going to sort of deteriorate like wheat might in a warehouse over time, or retailers going to push it into the market somehow? Are they going to find new users? And that's something we need to think about.